Hello and welcome. We are doing a deck tech for Vile Pod with the one, the only Judge Introbeck. How's it going today, buddy?
It's going pretty great, my man, and yourself.
Oh, not bad. Not bad. Worked pretty hard today, and now I get to relax and talk about an actually pretty freaking cool deck.
Hell yeah, brother man. The deck is slowly coming up on its 2-year birthday.
2 years. Wow. Uh, And you know what, too? Like, I keep seeing Vile Smasher and Thrasios popping up, but I don't see it built like yours. I see it very much just four color good stuff with no white.
Yeah, so have you actually heard the story on how I created the deck and how I got the idea?
I think the audience would like to hear it.
All right, so in January of 2024, I think it was January 21st, actually, whichever 20 date was a Thursday. And so that Thursday before the Saturday tournament, uh, I was playing my Vile Smasher Thrasios Turbo Adnaz Sans White farm list. So it was literally four color good stuff, right? And really low to the ground, just trying to tutor up ad nauseum or a way to get infinite mana as soon as possible, right? And so, uh, that was in the good old days of Dockside Mana Crypt, And so, uh, I asked my friend when we got done playing, I'm like, hey, yeah, so what do you think of the deck? Because most people are on like Curiosity. I believe the other one is Keen Sense Control, And so, like, what do you think? Because, it's vastly different than what they're doing. I'm just trying to be as turbo as possible. And he's like, well, it's good, and it wins a lot, but like it's kind of boring because it's using all the same win cons as everybody else. Why don't you just do something unique, and different instead of what everyone else is doing? I'm like, okay, dude, fine, I'll do that. And I'm like sitting there for a second, and I'm like, what the hell can I do in Sans White that's kind of unique that I've not seen before? And then I'm like, you know what? Let's try to make Birthing Pod a one card win condition in Sans White, because the problem is that there's no 4 mana value creature alone that on enters, uh, you know, untaps the birthing pod or allows for birthing pod to get reset. Well, we have Felidar Guardian, but as we all know and have just stated, that's mono white, and so obviously I'm Sans White, so I can't use that. And so I was like, how can I do this? So I scoured the internet to see what lists for Vile Smasher Thrasios everyone used, right? As well as other combinations of Sans White to see if anyone had Birthing Pod. Some did, but it was more so toolbox. It was just something to be able to, get something else out, like trade a 2 for a 3 or a 1 for a 2, because like, oh, hey, I'm going to win with Thoracle now, so I'm just going to pod my bird away. Uh, and so, but none of them had Birthing Pod as a one card win condition. No one online had anything about a Birthing Pod chain that allowed Birthing Pod without Felidar Guardian to be a one card win condition in any sort of form without unnecessary cards being added, such as for with Displacer Kitten, because that requires that you cast non-creature spells. And so, just to recap for anyone who may or may not know how Birthing Pod is a one card win condition with white, typically that deck is called Blood Pod. And so you have any 3 mana value creature. Oh, hey, Timna's in the command zone. How convenient. So we're going to pod her away into Felidar Guardian, flicker the Birthing pod the Guardian off into Karmic Guide, and then the Guide reanimates the Karmic Guide, flickers the birthing pod, and then we again kill off the cat again to go get Kiki Jiki. And then Kiki's like, hey, Karmic Guide, I'm going to make another one of you. And then we're going to bring back the kitty, and then it's going to flicker me, and then I'm going to make a bunch of cats and kill everybody. And so, uh, you know, that's how they do it. So from one card plus the birthing pod, you're able to tutor out everything and get everything else out. And in game theory, and especially in competitive Magic, we call that a one card win condition, because one card with literally anything else or just by itself, with a very null condition in essence, because having Timna out on the battlefield or any 3-mana value creature for that instance is essentially a null condition. You're probably going to always have that be met. And so that's how we're able to call it a one card win condition. But again, as I've stressed before, we don't have Felidar Guardian. So how the hell am I doing it? And so I scoured the internet, and no one realized that the card Violent Tumor from Modern Horizons 2 in 2021 actually enabled Birthing Pod for almost 3 years at this point when I figured it out to be a one card win condition. And so, granted, we require one colorless, or one generic, I should say, and a blue more, but it's still 5 mana or less in order to go through the loop. So it is still very efficient, and it's still very, very good. So what's the line? So we have Birthing Pod out, and any 2-mana value creature. Oh, hey, yet again, very convenient. Thrasios is in our command zone, and we normally have him out turn 1 because we're so good like that. And so the thing is that we pod Thrasios away into Deceiver Exarch, because Deceiver Exarch untaps the pod, and unlike flickering it like Felidar Guardian, it just untaps it. And I'll talk a little bit more about Deceiver Exarch here in a little bit. So Deceiver Exarch untaps the pod. Then we pod it away for Violent Tumor, who is actually the namesake of the deck. And so from there, Violent Tumor has a triggered ability upon entering. It doesn't do anything with the pod yet, but what it does allow us to do is to entomb a card, which is to take a card from the library and put it into the graveyard. And that card is Fate Stitcher. Now, the super awesome thing about Fate Stitcher is that he has Unearth. The busted thing about Unearth is that it's an activated ability. All right. We're not casting any spells. So, like, even if there was a rule of law or a, what's the other silence card? Deafening Silence out, we can still win through that. We just have to cast the Birthing Pod. And so we unearth the Fate Stitcher, and oh, hey, it gives haste to it. And you know what it does? It has an activated ability that allows us to tap it to untap the Birthing Pod. From there, we pod off the Vile Entomber. And the reason why we pod off the Vile Entomber is twofold, and I'll talk about that here in a little bit. But we pod off the Vile Entomber, who is a 4 for a 5. And that 5 is no other than Kiki Jiki. And from here, we activate Kiki Jiki to make a hasty token copy of Fate Stitcher. We use that same activated ability to untap the pod. Important note, from here, we pod off the token copy of Fate Stitcher. And the reason why is because he has Unearth. So if he were to leave the battlefield, he gets exiled instead. So we may or may not want to be able to keep him around for shenanigans. And so when we pod off the token, which because of the rules of copying, it has the same mana cost as well as mana value as the card it was copying, which is Fate Stitcher, which is a 4. So we go and get a 5. And that 5 is Phyrexian Delver. That is essentially the black version of Karmic Guide. And when it enters the battlefield, it targets a creature card in a graveyard, our graveyard, to reanimate. And that card is none other than Deceiver Exarch. And so it'll reanimate it, and we lose 3 life because that's its mana value. And Deceiver Exarch, entering the battlefield, is going to untap Kiki Jiki. And then from here, we make hasty infinite Deceiver Exarchs and swing. And
Wow.
so, yeah, I figured this out all on that Friday before the tournament. And I really love stacks. And I always think there is always a place for at least a stacks piece or two in every single deck. I don't care what deck they are playing. There should at least be one form of stacks in everyone's deck, whether or not it's Douthie Voidwalker, Opposition Agent, or even a Grafdigger's Cage that you can win through and not even care about, right?
Fun
But
fact, I have to agree with you on that because even I run a stacks piece in RAL. I run Vexing Bauble.
oh yeah,
So,
because you can stop other people's free interaction, and then you can get rid of it when you need to utilize it,
yep,
or you can use it as a politicking piece.
yep. And I
But
guess I assume with you, you could use opposition agent to pot away if you absolutely need to. So, or Dothy for that matter.
right, because hmm so I will talk about the very important uh, pieces in the deck and their relevance as to why they're important later. Douthie because he's 2 mana value, and Opposition Agent because she's 3 mana value. Uh, but the thing is, once I figured this out, I didn't tell anyone. I built the deck and I essentially made it very analogous to Blood Pod, except sans white. So I used Mana Maze, Chains of Mephistopheles, Arcane Laboratory, which is the original Rule of Law effect, by the way, if anyone didn't know, originally from Urza Saga.
Hmm.
Uh, and then the thing is that um, it was loaded with counter spells as well, obviously, because it's a blue deck and you know control is king in this game that we play. And so I ended up winning the tournament because essentially no one knew what the hell I was doing. And I'm just like, yeah. Because they're just like, well, he can't win with the birthing pot. And I'm just like chuckling in the back of my head with my poker face, like, you guys have no idea. And so everyone got learnt that day. And it was beautiful. And then I messaged my friend Mons of CEDH TV, and I'm like, hey, buddy, I discovered something quite amazing. And he's like, what's that? And then I'm like, I made Birthing Pod a, one card win condition. He's like, we have Blood Pod, right? And then I'm like, sans white. He's like, that's impossible. How did you do it? And then I told him, he's like, oh, we got to make a video about this. And then I'm like, absolutely. And then
Definitely.
since then, uh, the deck essentially stayed the same from January until Modern Horizons 3 came out. And then Thonian Nightmare loops were amazing, and Shifting Woodland and Arena of Glory just helped make, Arena of Glory in particular makes Prime Speaker Vanifar infinitely better
Huh.
because then it gives her haste. And so the thing is that from there, the release of Bloomborough. All right. And I knew about Hazel's Brewmaster before a lot of other people because I may or may not have connections at Wizards. And so the moment I saw it, I'm like, this is a stupid card. Like, everyone and their mother, of course, realized that it and Devoted Druid made infinite mana. But you want to know a combo that two combos that I told everyone else about that no one else apparently figured out. So a lot of people don't realize that Rakdos has a great 2 card win condition now. It's Hazel's Brewmaster and Kiki Jiki. And so that allows you to make infinite hasty Brewmasters and swing. But another fun thing is that Hazel's Brewmaster with Prime Speaker Vanifar makes a free to activate Birthing Pod. And the thing is that I just cast a creature spell, right? And most of the time, there's only 2 things that can counter that. So there's Force of Will, and then if they're running Strict Serenade, big whoop, but most people are not. Uh, and then the thing is, it's a black creature, so it gets around a few of the non-black creature hate. But like, if they have their commander, they can deadly relic it, whatever. But the thing is, I still get the enters trigger, and if they don't have anything to interact with the creature, then I get to pop off because again, most people don't have a lot of interaction for creatures, and it's very interesting and surprising because like it dies to dismember, bounce spell, and a myriad of other things. But like most people are worried about non-creature spells, because that's the majority of the meta and like what's really really good.
Yeah.
But anywho, once Bloomburrow came out, the deck flourished, and then almost immediately after that, the bans hit, and then the deck just continued to swell and survive, and it's just been good ever since.
I definitely I've never seen something as cool as this, that's for sure, because all your standard white ones, you know what happens. You can see it coming. You can do it in Naya, you can do it in four color with white, but yeah, the fact that you were able to do it with Vile as the partner for Thrasios is kind of nutty. Like, and looking at the list, it's fucking cool. It's got so many nice
Yeah,
little
and the
synergies with it that everything just kind of flows together. And like, oh shit, I'm gonna pod into. I need to pod something away, and I'm just gonna get Seaborn Muse. Even is like pretty big. Everything all like levels up with itself.
yeah, and so the thing is that Vile Smasher is not only there for the colors. The fact is that one, uh, I'm just gonna say it because I don't know if Vile Smasher in the lore is female or male, but anyway, Vile Smasher for the colors, right? For Mamber as well because it turns it on. But also, 3 mana value creatures are also very important depending upon the conditions of the board and or what is in hand. Because even though I just told you the way to win with the Kiki Exarch with Birthing Pod as a 1 card win condition, the thing is we also have Thrasios, and we have multiple ways of getting to infinite mana with Birthing Pod.
That's interesting. Because you're even on Basalt Monolith, and that's Kin and Basalt lines. You're on Hazel's Brewmaster lines with uh, Devoted Druid. Um,
Yeah, you want to know what's really awesome? So Devoted Druid, right? We pod it into Exarch, untap the pod, and then pod the Exarch directly into Brewmaster, exile the Druid on ETB, infinite green mana.
hmm. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you win a game. People will freak out when you start to try to assemble that. I know this from experience. Uh, in case you guys haven't wondered, I am joined by my co-host, Illuminate.
Yo,
What's up?
yo, what's going on? I'm sorry I wasn't here for the start of this.
You're good. You're good.
Um,
You have the
I'm a,
list?
yeah, we're on Viopod, correct?
Correct.
All right. Taking a look at the list, I love it. It looks so layered and just so nuanced that first looks won't give you everything you need to know about the deck. I do have one question though. Because it's so layered, what have you found like flex slots to be to test new cards from new sets?
Ooh, good one.
Um, so I want the deck to be as focused on Birthing Pod and or infinite mana as much as possible. So honestly, the Breach Loops opens up 3 cards.
Yeah.
Uh, and so, if there is something in the deck that I want to change or test out, I literally take that out and then add a couple of other support pieces, and then just forget the Underworld Breach as a thing in my deck. Because honestly, I don't even think about that line when I'm trying to win because, as I've stated before, I want to focus on birthing pod, right? And so, in winning through those lines, whether or not it's naturally or through the three cards that essentially pseudo act as birthing pod. So we have actual birthing pod, and then we have Prime Speaker Vanifar that we'll talk about later, as well as Survival of the Fittest that we'll talk about later. And so I have gone back and forth between having LED Breach Brain Freeze in the deck. I currently have it in the deck just to have as a backup to the backup to the backup to the backup win line. Because a lot of people think that the deck is cluttered and has a lot of bad cards. Their words, not mine. Which obviously I think is objectively false. Not only from a game theory point of view when analyzing the deck and how it's designed to function, but also just taking a look at the functionality of the pieces, like primarily as well as secondary, tertiary, or quaternary. And so the thing is that if I could take those three cards out for other support and or tutor pieces, then fucking A, right? Like,
Yeah.
I can give a list of three cards to you right now that I would 100% add to this fucking deck besides those three cards. So LED, Underworld Breach, and Brain Freeze out. I would so put Transmute Artifact, uh,
Yeah.
because Transmute Artifact is just really good anyway, because it can tutor out Basalt, or in a pinch, if somehow I have a treasure, I can go get like an actual like Mox, or I can pay one for a Soul Ring, right?
Yeah.
Uh, and then the other one that I would get is Tezzeret. And then the other card, there's a myriad of things that I may or may not throw in, just because like there are a lot of cards in Sans White that I could utilize to like propel myself forward and make this deck just as utterly nasty as possible. I would probably want to add one more stacks piece. So like adding the two tutors and another stacks piece, probably in the form of either Harsh Mentor or Razorkin Needlehead. And so the reason why I love both of those, a lot of people think that Harsh Mentor is just bad, and it's like, no. Like literally, they try to uh, activate Kinnan, or use Kinnan to activate and make infinite mana with Basalt Monolith. They will literally fucking die before they get enough mana to do anything with it. Because you have to tap it for the 3 trigger Kinnan +1 as a mana ability, and then you activate using 3 of that 4 to untap the Basalt Monolith. You're only floating 1. And so it triggers the Harsh Mentor. You're going to lose 2 because you activated an ability of a particular card type on the battlefield that he doesn't like you doing. So you're going to take 2 before you even untap it. So let's see where you go, Skippo. So and then Razorkin Needlehead, because we are in a draw engine meta. And so anything to reduce their life total passively, just for them playing the game and doing the things that they want to do, and keep them off of that resource, is very paramount in being able to uh, put yourself above them just by having one piece just on standby.
I absolutely
That's
love that. The fact that you have
yeah.
2 stacks pieces in red that actually deal damage to the current meta as we know it, it's actually that's a cool little synergy you got because it, like you said, the Underworld Breach line, if you were looking through the deck, it's the only thing that stands out as awkward per se, or could be awkward,
Yeah.
requires
Not
a setup.
not layered.
Yeah,
Not
not
layered.
layered. That's the word I'm looking for. So, I mean, it is a red deck, so you should probably have Underworld Breach even as a value engine. But I can see
Yeah,
cutting it.
but yeah, I can definitely see using those 3 like Brain Freeze, LED, and Breach as like the flex slots, because like the deck is so layered already. You don't technically need that simplicity, especially when you already have Thassa's Oracle
And
for that kind of simplicity, right?
Kin Basalt is
Like,
pretty simple too,
yeah,
Brewmaster Devoted still pretty simple. So to get rid of those 3 cards is actually not hindering the deck at all.
no, no, not at all. I love it. I love looking at this list. This is
I
so cool.
I know, like I've been following it
Seeing,
for a while, and I've just like never pulled the trigger on printing it, but it is one of the decks that I'm
yeah,
interested to float around the LGS and see what happens, because
yeah,
it's not your normal list. You'd look at it and you'd be like, oh, four
no.
color good stuff, until you're like extremely disappointed
Yeah,
or
so you're like,
impressed.
hey, cool, vampiric tutor, what do I get?
Yeah. Yeah, so is there anything else you want to talk about before we move on to the next part, or
What would be the next part?
just talk about game plans and like thought sitting down at a table, you see certain decks, kind of hands you would mulligan for, certain strategies you would take to approach the table, stuff
Oh,
like
okay.
that.
Well, then in that case, before we go on to that, I need to tell you guys about the other birthing pod lines and the other combos in the deck.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
I
yeah.
knew there was
So,
more.
oh, brother, there is always more.
Yeah, I knew there
This is
was more.
literally a Billy Mays commercial. Okay.
That's why I said
So,
it like that, because I knew there was going to be some stuff you wanted to talk about.
all right. So, Spellseeker, excellent card. Okay. So she triggers and enters to get a instant or sorcery with mana value 2 or less. Now for the birthing pod lines, what we're going to do is with her entering and having birthing pod, we are going to get one of two things. We will assume that Gaia's Cradle is not on the battlefield. And we can also potentially assume that like Gaia's Cradle is maybe even in the graveyard for the second card. So for the first card, crop rotation. So you remember how I said Fate Stitcher is important, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's where he shines. So we go grab crop rotation with her enters trigger. We pod her off. She's a 3-drop. We're going to go get a 4-drop. That 4-drop, just like before, is Violent Tumor. Violent Tumor is going to entomb our little zombie boy, Fate Stitcher. We're going to unearth that guy. We're going to untap the pod away Violent Tumor, and go get Kiki Jiki. At this point, we can tap Kiki Jiki to make a hasty token copy of Fate Stitcher, just like before. However, the Fate Stitcher is not going to untap the pod because let's assume that Deceiver Exarch is not in our library. Okay?
Yep.
And so, or not in our graveyard. Because we didn't start with a 2 mana value creature to start the chain, right? We started with a 3. And so what we're going to do is Face Stitcher is going to untap Kiki Jiki. So then he's going to tap, make a copy of Fate Stitcher. Rinse and repeat ad nauseum. We have infinite hasty tapped Fate Stitchers. So then we're going to cast that crop rotation, go get a cradle, and then we have infinite green mana.
Oh, don't worry, they're tapped. It's fine. Win? Question mark.
Well, well, here, well, well, you remember how you said they're tapped, right?
Yeah.
So Spellseeker can also get dramatic reversal.
It sure can.
I love it.
But there's another Spellseeker line. So the other Spellseeker line is if we start with her, right, or if we have Entomb in hand, we can start with a 3-drop creature and just entomb the Exarch and reanimate it when we go up from the 3. So either Spellseeker enters, grab entomb the Exarch, and then go from there through the normal pod lines, just starting with her as the 3. Or we can just start with any 3 if we have entomb in hand.
Hmm. Interesting.
That's so fucking cool.
Yeah, and I've
Interesting.
had a lot of people tell me that Entomb is a bad card. And I'm just like, objectively, from a game theory standpoint, it is an instant speed, 1 mana, tutor anything to the graveyard. So unless you don't
Mm-hmm.
use your graveyard, then obviously it's a good fucking card because it is a searcher for 1 card. Any card. Literally, it replaces itself with another card in a zone that you want to use it in. So please tell me how, objectively, from a game theory standpoint, it is not an amazing card.
Yeah.
It, I personally like it. I don't do too much shenanigans with the graveyard at the moment, but I do have
Yeah.
proxy decks that do it. So it's like,
I
mm,
I can see why people say it's why people can try and make the argument for Entomb being a bad card, but like in any kind of deck that touches your graveyard even
at,
a little bit,
at
you
all.
want an Entomb in there just to
Like,
put
I
put a
think,
beneficial card in there and then get it
yeah,
back. Like,
I think that anyone playing Breach Loops should be running Entomb
Yep.
yeah,
because it is a 1 mana value way to get Brain Freeze or LED into your fucking graveyard.
yeah,
So the thing is, they're like, well, why don't you just use Gamble? And it's like, or you can have both of them.
yeah.
Yeah,
Why
two's
not
better
run
than
both?
one. It's essentially
Like,
like running because at that point you're assuming you're empty-handed anyway. So the fact that you're empty-handed and gambling it away is the same thing as red entombing it. So
yeah,
I I definitely see your point because it doesn't make sense to not run a second copy of a card, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
CDH is built around redundancy, and most decks want as much redundancy as you can possibly get. And Entomb and Gamble serve the same purpose.
Yeah. Now, something else that's very, very important in the deck, because we can generate infinite green, all right? So, in my creature tutor slots, what is something that you noticed that I am not running?
Finale.
Feature tutor slots.
Yeah, I'm not running
Yeah,
Finale. I'm running Nature's Rhythm instead.
Yeah.
Now, can
that's
you surmise or deduce a reason why I'm running Nature's Rhythm as opposed to Finale currently?
Because
green
it's
is
times
green is
two.
the easiest color to make, and you can Nature's Rhythm twice, whereas Finale's only a one-time thing.
Exactly. The only real benefit of Finale versus Nature's Rhythm, particularly in my deck, but in generally most cases, um, Finale you have the option of searching your graveyard to reanimate a creature, whereas Nature's Rhythm is strictly from your library.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
the thing is, with the Bruid combo, as I call it, the Hazel's Brewmaster and Devoted Druid combo, uh, with the infinite green mana, let's say there is a what's his name?
Draineth.
Drenith Magistrate on the field, right? I don't have access to Thrasios for my infinite green. Oh, hey, Nature's Rhythm essentially serves as that because the first thing I get is that I go get Spellseeker for Tainted Pact. All right. I then go from there and harmonize it back, which is just fancy flashback, to go get Thoracle, trigger on the stack, cast Tainted Pact, win.
yeah. Nature's Rhythm with any any oh, what would be the green count? I don't know the math on it, but like a decent amount of green is just a one card win con because as you said, serve Spellseeker, grab Tainted Pact, Nature's Rhythm for Dasa's win. Like,
Yeah. The other thing that I can just do is grab Deceiver, Exarch, Kiki, and win.
yeah,
Right. So again, that's just 2 times I cast it. However, the problem with what I just said, that I'm surprised you guys didn't pick up because that was kind of a test, is if I don't have access to Thrasios because of Dranith, I can't harmonize the spell back. But anywho,
sure.
uh, but the thing is that the power of the card is that you can do it twice.
Yeah.
I totally would have thought of it only after casting it, going,
Yeah,
fuck.
I would have been stopped at that point and been like, "Oh, well,
Oh,
that sucks."
fuck. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, I'm very much a kick in the door kind of guy. I don't wait for a window, so I feel that.
Yeah. But yeah, the other thing is that I also have the Keatsa reversal combo in here because it's stupid easy to get it off. So if you have Keatsa and Valley Flood Caller, you just have to have Keatsa able to tap and then cast Dramatic Reversal and win, right?
Yeah.
Because not only do you not need anything to draw, because with the untap of Valley Flood Caller, you get to draw a card, discard a card with that trigger, and then Dramatic Reversal untaps her, and then you just do it again, you know. But the thing is that in addition to her, uh, she is a blue card that can be pitched to Force of Will if need be. But more importantly, she is a 2-drop that can start the birthing pod chain,
Yep.
Yeah.
I was looking at that
right?
too because the Kitsa line is super sweet. I love it. I'm currently not on it in Rogthras, but that's something I might have to remedy after this video.
Yeah. So we all know about the Bruid combo. Everyone knows about that. But I mentioned it in passing, but I will go over it a little bit more detail now. So we have the Brew Kiki combo that I figured out that I've been once she got released, telling everyone about. Because a lot of people didn't realize like the first like 2 months that it was out that was something that I could do. So I just abused their ignorance and got rid of Kiki and got Brewmaster. And then I'm like, cast Brewmaster, and they're like, yeah. And then I'm like, exile Kiki, and they're like, yeah, okay. Then I'm like, proceed to make infinite Brewmasters, and they're like, what? How? So here's how it works. Hazel's Brewmaster enters, trigger on the stack, you target Kiki and exile him.
Oh.
Now, Hazel's Brewmaster creates the token, the food token, as a part of the resolution of the triggered ability. Now, the thing is, it's very important is that the trigger condition is up to one target. So not only can you just exile all your opponents as graveyards, uh, but the important fact is that the last line of text on that squirrel is a continuous effect that modifies your foods so that it grants an ability to them of the activated ability of all creature cards exiled with that particular Hazel's Brewmaster permanent. And that is a linked ability that is linked to the triggered ability from her entering. Uh, and so if you
Oh,
exile
sorry.
So if you exile Kiki, so yeah, if you exile Kiki, as long as you control that brewmaster, any and all foods you create have the ability to tap, create a token of target non-legendary creature you control. It gains haste, sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. So you tap your food that brewmaster made, target the brewmaster. Okay, cool. You make a hasty token copy of it. You don't even have to target anything from its enters trigger, and it makes a food. Rinse and repeat with the new food, so you make infinite tapped foods, right? Uh, and so you make infinite hasty brewmasters, and then you swing and then kill everybody. All right.
Jesus.
Now, the other one is with Prime Speaker Vanifar in Hazel's Brewmaster. Just like before with Kiki, we're going to exile Prime Speaker Vanifar, or PSV for short. And so PSV is literally the text of Birthing Pod. The only difference is the cost. The cost for Birthing Pod is a generic, a green Phyrexian, tap, and sacrifice a creature. Now, Prime Speaker Vanifar says tap, sacrifice another creature. All right. So here's the really cool thing is that when we get rid of Prime Speaker Vanifar with Hazel's Brewmaster, keep in mind that Hazel's Brewmaster is a 4-drop. And so the thing is that the food is a free birthing pod. There is no life or mana to activate it. Okay. So from there, we can just use Thrasios and climb all the way up the chain and not have to pay any mana. It's all activated and triggered abilities, right? Or if we have Thrasios and we don't necessarily care that PSV got exiled and we don't care about really having Brewmaster on the field, well, we can tap the food token that's a birthing pod and sacrifice Thrasios, right? No mana investment needed at all for that ability. Go get Deceiver Exarch. Exarch enters and untaps the food token, which is basically birthing pod, and we tap and sacrifice Brewmaster. And Brewmaster is 4. So then we're going to go get a 5, which is Kiki, and then we're going to make infinite copies of Deceiver Exarch and win.
I love that.
That's
That's
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Now,
Holy.
how do we set all of this up with, Brewmaster coming in and exiling a particular creature in the graveyard? Well, coincidentally, Exodus was loaded with busted fucking cards, and one of those is Survival of the Fittest. So, for 1 and a green, you get an enchantment for green, discard a creature card, search for any creature and put it in your hand, right? So, we can do the same survival lines that Blood Pod does. So, we pay a green, discard any creature card to get Exarch, and then from there, we discard Exarch, go get Kiki, discard Kiki, go get Phyrexian Delver, right? So we can use that 2 mana or 3 if we need to get the Deceiver Exarch, right? Before our turn to get the Phyrexian Delver in hand, untap, and then it's 5 mana to cast him and then win from there. All right. Alternatively, right, we can discard any creature to go get the Druid, discard the Druid, go get Brewmaster, and then get infinite mana. Right. Or we can discard PSV, go get the Brewmaster, and then go off from there.
Wow.
Holy.
That's kind of mind-boggling to see how many actual like backup plans you can actually fall back into just depending on how and what you draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And board states and stuff.
Yeah, man.
Speaking on board states, I want to kind of go back to the Dranith on the field example. With Nature's Rhythm in hand, if there is a Dranith on field, because you can't harmonize it, do you still go get Taint Impact, or do you have another target to get rid of the Dranith to be able to continue, like, firing on all cylinders, per se?
So, something we can do, and of course, this is absent knowing my board state and my particular hand or graveyard situation or anyone else's battlefields, because all of that would allow to have integrative decision making in the process. But the first thing in my head, right, if we absolutely need to get rid of the Dranith, and I'm assuming the condition of the game is I have infinite green and I want to harmonize, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing I do is get so if I had infinite green, and assuming I don't have any answer in hand, what would I do? So, something we could do is get Spell Seeker, but go grab Retraction Helix and return him to hand. Uh, and then from there we could go for man, could we go for Delver and potentially bring something back? Such as the well, I mean, yeah, it would have to be Spellseeker to get Retraction Helix, bounce him, and then from there just play Thrasios and win.
Yeah. I've noticed you can't get it off Spellseeker though, but you do run Dismember. So
Yeah. Oh, bro, if I could get Dismember off of her, that'd be fucking busted.
that'd be so good. And there's not well, you could technically get a long goodbye, which can't be countered and hits 3 or less. I never thought of that until now. Interesting. Hello, talk show. Huh. I definitely
Yeah.
I need to get this thing on gameplay again here soon because I need to see it played out.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it would be worth it, but like, have you ever considered like a fatal push or something like that? Like a 2 mana
Uh,
kill spell? You could just grab
so
Spell Seeker, grab
all of
that.
that, yeah, all of that is in my considering. Everything in considering has at one point or time been in the deck.
Makes sense. That's how I do it too.
So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, so I retain a history of anything that has ever been in or out of the deck. The only
yeah,
thing that I think, yeah, the only thing that is missing from that list is the Sphinx, Consecrated Sphinx.
Yeah, you actually have quite a few targets for Spellseeker and you're considering to hit
Mhm.
a Draenus. So, I mean, if Draenus starts coming around again, you've got options.
yeah,
Right, but the thing is that most of my win lines, I win with him on the board.
Yeah, I guess.
yeah,
Just go through the
So
is
like,
assuming you can go through the chain line, you're good to
yeah, because he doesn't stop any of that.
yeah,
The like three main stacks pieces I absolutely abhor are Grafdigger's Cage,
Yep.
yeah,
Cursed Totem effects,
Yep.
yeah,
and Null Rod effects.
Yep.
Literally those three. It's any class of those kinds, because basically no one fucking runs Rest in Peace, and basically no one fucking runs one stacks piece that I feel like is like a really good card, but like basically no one but Magda runs it is the Golem.
Oh, Barry, the battered golem.
No, not Battered Golem. It's the Phyrexian Golem. It's a 2-drop 0/4, I think. It's really stupid. Uh Players
Oh.
can't cast non-creature spells from exile or
Oh, Soul
graveyard.
Trader or the yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then non-land permanent cards can't enter the battlefield from libraries or graveyard. Yeah, so that card would shut me the fuck down, essentially in almost every fucking aspect. Uh,
That card would shut a lot of my decks down, to be fair, so
yeah, but that's the other thing is like most people don't run the golem, so I don't really think about it. But the interaction suite that I have in here is specifically curated to like most of the meta and most of the things that I'm going to be running into, like more than likely running into. But the thing is, I have answers for anything and everything that I would see. Because when it comes to deck building and like deck construction, I come at it from a holistic approach. Like, look at the entire card pool, what has been used, what could be used and what will be used. Can I answer them? Cool. Let's have uh, a like diverse interaction suite so that it's not super narrow and specific. Let's use stuff that is capable of being broad.
Yeah.
I definitely see that. I do like your choice of Nature's Claim. Super good.
Yeah, because Nature's Claim, the primary reason why it's in the deck is to get rid of the artifact and enchantment stacks pieces that prohibit me from playing. Like, that's the most important thing. Everything else is secondary, tertiary, or quaternary, right?
Yeah.
So the secondary piece is gets rid of a value.
Hmm.
Tertiary piece is that you know, I utilize it to save something of mine or anything beyond that, which are like the extreme edge cases.
Yeah.
You ain't blowing up a Ristic study with that, I tell you that much.
What, with Nature's Claim?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I've done that hundreds of times. Maybe
Oh.
even no, I've definitely done it thousands of times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cause I
That'd be
do it
like
all the time
that'd be
in fucking Natali.
that'd be like my favorite thing to blow up with a Nature's Claim.
Is a
Yeah,
Ristic
bro,
study,
I've been
yeah.
advocating for the yeah, bro, I've been advocating for the ban of Ristic studies since fucking 2013, 2014. Because I started playing Commander back in fucking 2008.
Yeah.
So, I got my two prophecy foils for $3.
Goddamn.
Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy.
I'm assuming the list reflects what you have in paper.
Yes.
That's what I
Jesus
that's what
Christ.
I thought.
Holy.
It seems more surreal when you actually look at it, eh?
Yeah.
But like he
I
said,
thought it was just the fanciest versions on Moxfield. I was like, oh,
no,
okay.
it is the
You're
fanciest
going
versions on Mox
fancy with
build.
this, but it's what you have in paper.
Yeah, no, cousin has seen me play with the cards in person. Like he's seen
Yeah,
me play,
Oh,
I guess, on stream. We've not
but
been in person yet, although
yeah,
we got to get that at some point, bro. Come on.
uh,
we do.
unfortunately, we'll talk off camera. But I not for a while for me. I can't get down there.
Yeah. Hey,
um.
maybe I come to Canada. Who knows? We'll see.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that would be awesome. But that's for a later topic. So we've talked about the breeding, the lines.
Talked about combos, talked about ideal lines and what you usually go for. Is there any decks that you don't like sitting down in a pod with? Like you look across the table and you see
Magda,
Magda. Yeah.
Grand Arbiter, Augustin. If anyone fucking plays that, fuck that card. I mean, granted, the thing is, like, I can win through it because, like, I
Mhm.
only have to cast one fucking spell, right?
Yeah.
Like I told you, this is the Sans White analogy of Blood Pod, and so I only have to cast one spell. Like I used to fucking run Arcane Laboratory, man. And so like people would be like, "What the fuck?" And then I'm like, "Yeah, I only have to cast one spell to win." And they're like, huh, "Okay." And then I'm like, "Birthing Pod?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." And then I'm
Win?
like,
Thanks.
I'm gonna activate these activated abilities and have these triggered abilities go off. And they're like, "You're not casting spells, right?" And then I'm like, "Nope."
Hard to interact. Good luck. Damn.
Huh. Huh.
Damn.
So for mulligans, what do you what's your main game plan? Obviously, it's birthing pod or a line to it, but what are you always happy to see?
I apply the same mulligan strategy essentially to every single deck. Because as you know, I try to utilize and uh, really embellish my playing because of my game theory knowledge. And so need to make sure I have enough resources. So whether that comes in the form of mana dorks, rocks, and or lands, I also need to make sure that I have ways to find what I need. So whether or not that's in the form of, birthing pod, finding me the creatures so that I can enable my win, or the One Ring, Ristic Study, or Mystic Remora to be able to draw me cards, right? Or if I just have like hard tutors like Vamp and Imp Seal, right? As well as some form of interaction so that I can not only protect myself, but also defend other players if need be, or utilize it to thwart the plans of one of my opponents. And so, when it comes to a hand, everything I tell my students, because I do offer coaching and I normally always come about it from the lens and perspective of game theory, and getting people to really understand and digest what it is that the game truly is and what you're doing. If your hand can tell a story and outline what you're doing and how you can get from your starting hand, whether you're starting from a 4 or a full 7, and how you can get to your end game, then it is a good hand. Because there are levels of keepable hands. There's a safe hand, which means it's not really explosive, but like I have enough resources and I have something that can get me to somewhere. And then there are good hands, right, that are like snap keeps, where you're like, oh yeah, this is super fire gas. I'm going to have all of my resources out on turns 1 or 2, and then I'm just going to be essentially uh, impenetrable force against everybody else. Or there is literally the God hand where you're like, yeah, no, like I literally have anything and everything that I want, and I'm going to win on like turn 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Right. So as long as your hand can tell a story of how the game is going to go, or at least how a portion of it is going to go to get you to be on your way to the climax of the story of the game to then go to the end game, then it is a good hand.
So I just did a tester hand. Misty Rainforest, Gaia's Cradle, Reanimate, Orcish Bowmaster, Mystic Remora, Mind Break Trap, Crop Rotation. Keeper Pass.
Oh. So uh say that one more time.
Misty Rainforest, Gaia's Cradle. Those are your
Yep.
lands.
Okay.
Reanimate, Orcish Bowmaster, Mystic Remora, Mind Break Trap, Crop Rotation.
I probably would not keep it. If the cradle was literally any other land in my deck, I would
Yeah,
keep it.
yeah, that's.
The
Oh,
problem is that cradle does not tap for mana on turn 2, right? I could, however, play the Mystic on turn 1 or even turn 2, which with the way that the meta has shifted, typically a turn 2 is like kind of the sweet spot on getting the most value out of it. And at least that way you can play it on turn 2 and then be able to utilize other resources so that you can actually play on your fucking turn, uh, instead of just tapping out and then drawing a card and passing. Um, if the Cradle were any other land, I'd probably keep it. It's a pretty safe hand. Uh, but is it a good hand? No. Uh, and the reason why is because the Bowmasters and the Reanimate really doesn't do much for us, especially in the early game. Granted, it does have a turn 1 or turn 2 if you want Mystic Remora, but the thing is that there's nothing really outlined for turns 2 or 3, you know? And so I would have to have a hard pass on that hand.
I got another one for you. Mox Diamond, Ancient Tomb, Scalding Tarn, The One Ring, Reanimate, Eternal Witness, and Birthing Pot.
Okay. Um, it's a turn 1 birthing pod. Because you said the 2 lands were Ancient Tomb and Scalding Tarn, right?
Yeah, plus a Mox
Okay.
Diamond. So you could potentially
Right.
pitch the Scalding Tarn to the Mox Diamond and have a turn 1 Birthing Pod.
Right. And then potentially a turn 2 ring. Uh, the only problem with that
Super loud.
is if we were to pitch, say what?
It's super loud. Like,
Uh,
here I am.
I guess. Yeah. Honestly, if the Eternal Witness were a tutor, another rock, or a land, I would snap keep the fuck out of that hand. That would be a perfect fucking 7 in my opinion. Because it would be a turn 1 pod, a turn 2 uh ring, or even Thrasios, and then win on turn 3.
Yeah.
I've clicked deal another hand a few times. I've got one that I think is more of a trap hand, and I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Bloodstained Mire, Flooded Strand, Ancient Tomb, Mana Vault, Worldly Tutor, Devoted Druid, Enduring Vitality.
That's a lot of mana. Uh, so we had the 3 lands, Mana Vault, Druid, Worldly Tutor, and
Enduring Vitality, yeah.
hmm, you know, I honestly think if that was like my first 7 or even second 7, I honestly think I would keep that. And the reason why is because you can play the what were the 3 lands again?
Bloodstained Mire, Flooded Strand, and Ancient Tomb.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Oh my god, that is a turn 2 uh um turn 2, right? No, it's turn 3 at the earliest, but still good. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, no, it's still a turn 3 fucking what's her name? Uh oh my
Brewmaster?
god. Nope.
Or
Uh I mean, you could go the Brewmaster route, but I was honestly thinking with the Enduring Vitality with Seedborn Muse, right?
yeah.
This is more of a grinding hand, just getting it out as soon as possible, and then just grinding a shitload of value from Thrasios, and then turn 4 we probably win. Like I don't know, like unless they had interaction to stop us, like this is the equivalent hand for us, like a Turbo Nos hand for farm, you know.
Yeah.
So I think the hand, if it were a second 7 or even a first 7, I might risk it, because it is uh, high risk, high reward,
Yeah.
you know. Uh, the unfortunate part is we don't have any interaction, but like I would be very curious to play that hand out and see where it went
Yeah.
personally.
That's interesting.
That's interesting. I didn't see the Seedborn line that you saw. I was like, I looked at Worldly Tutor and was like, right next to Devoted Druid. I was like, oh, That's a very telegraphed brewmaster, and devoted druid has to stick around for a turn for us to kill it ourselves, and nobody's gonna kill the druid when you reveal a brewmaster off of a worldly tutor. Like
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I just been hitting
that's
mulligans, but
that's why I thought it was a trap. But
they just been all trash.
oh, dude, I clicked draw card, and the first draw for this hand and like the way the deck was shuffled is demonic tutor.
Uh,
Golden.
uh,
Golden.
Yeah.
alright. So let's bam.
Yeah, I've spoken with John a number of times, the creator of Moxfield, because I know him. Uh, and like I don't like the shuffler they use. Much like with Arena, that's another reason why I loathe playing with people who are playing on Moxfield. Because I don't like the shuffler. I don't think it is truly as random as it could be. Uh, Plus, I also have trust issues with people who are
Yeah.
playing with Moxfield because it's very simple to cheat
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
And so I would rather not enable that.
Yeah. That's fair.
But yeah, the cool thing is the deck is capable of winning at instant speed. And people are like, well, you can't cast creatures at instant speed. And it's like, well, I don't need to.
Yeah.
With Valley Floodcaller, I can cast Survival of the Fittest, discard Thoracle with an empty library, and cast Reanimate.
Yeah.
Yup. That's definitely a thing that
That's
can happen.
yeah. I feel like if you get to that point though, like a few things have to have gone wrong, and you're like, okay, I need an out right now.
Well, no, if I have Valley Floodcaller out and I have Retraction Helix and I'm just sitting on it for my window of opportunity, that's probably what I'm going to do,
Yeah.
right?
Fair.
Especially in the absence of the breach lines,
Fair.
because that is probably my best and only instant speed win line. So, and the fucked part for them is I'd have my deck in my hand. So, good luck
Yeah.
interacting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have everything then at that point. Just bury their interaction with draw triggers first.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you're convincing me. I'm gonna have to check it out. I don't have a.
Yeah.
I might be able to print it off this weekend. We'll check it out.
Yeah, and the thing is that even very well seasoned players in my area, which you know, I am local to playing with power, so like I know Ryan and Mike personally. Like we play at the same LGSs, and we talk. I wouldn't say like every day, but like semi regularly. And so like even very seasoned players who know exactly what my deck is supposed to do have a very difficult time of knowing exactly what it is I am going to do and like where I'm going, just because of how layered and how easy it is for me to pivot depending upon what has occurred within the game.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I've seen your version a few times now. I had one that was 6 cards different from yours and 16 cards. And the more I look over it, the list looks really tight right now, and it looks like it's probably functioning the best.
I would probably say that is indeed true. Now the funny thing, I don't know if I'll get in trouble for it, but in the new Lorwyn set coming out, there may or may not be a 4 mana value non-legendary uh, creature with an enters trigger that untaps something with persist.
No.
What?
So with with that, if they pull the
Dude.
trigger on that card, it just makes my lines quicker and actually more efficient than Blood Pod.
I want to ask color, but like I don't know if you can reveal that information.
Uh,
I don't want to get you
its
in
cost
trouble.
its cost is 3 in blue.
Oh, Dog Thrash might get a new toy.
Huh. 3 and a blue, eh? Huh.
Yeah, 3 in a blue. When it enters the battlefield, choose one. Tap target permanent and opponent controls, or untap target permanent you control. And it has flash. And it has persist. And it is a 1/3.
Because
Oh my god.
because reasons, right? Like it
Yeah,
somebody's
because power creep.
somebody's pulling for your deck, buddy. I like it. Magna gets a new card almost every set, so it's about time other decks start getting some love.
Yeah, because that means that I don't have to use the 2 additional cards, which are the Fate Stitcher, Violent Tumor, in order to do it, and that also means that I can start with any 3 mana value creature.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a cat spell seeker. Oh, time to pot it away. Bye.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Jesus.
Oh, I got an enduring vitality and a fat stack board. Bye.
Yeah, and Enduring Vitality,
It's so cool.
being the 3-drop going into that, makes all of my creatures tap for a mana of any color.
Yeah, as soon as they got
You know,
haste, yeah. Yeah.
which Kiki gives the tokens that ability.
Yeah.
Oh
And
man.
so the thing is, I don't have to swing with all the tokens, right? So people ask me, how do you win through One Ring protection? And I'm like, that's simple. I just kill the other players and then force the One Ring player to interact when I draw my deck, which they're not going to be able to do.
No.
Yeah. Do you have a way to win through One Ring protection aside from passing the turn
Uh,
and kill?
Other
Cast
than just
Oracle.
winning,
Yeah, I
yeah, I have
guess.
Cast
Thoracle
Oracle?
as well.
I guess, yeah.
So,
Duh.
but the other thing is that uh, you know how I can have a 4 mana value creature, right? Because with the Fate Stitchers, I can have the last one untap pod and then pod one of the Fate Stitchers away for Seedborn Muse.
That's almost like somebody flashes out a One Ring in response to a bunch of your shenanigans. But at that point, you
Yeah.
should be able to bury it. Still,
Hmm.
that's it's it looks stupid resilient. The more I look at
Yeah.
it, the more it just looks like its wheels are just gonna turn and turn and turn.
I'm looking and you're considering. Have you ever thought of like Fairy Mastermind to win through One
I
Ring?
I have, uh, but the thing is that if I recall correctly, he's a 2/1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he gets sniped by the fucking bowmasters. And so the problem with forcing people to draw is the worst part is getting infinite blue mana, right? Because if I have the Fate Stitcher combo, uh, where I untap all of them, I have infinite mana of all colors. And so the thing is that in that case, I'd be able to generate blue, right? But the thing is that what I can do is since I have the Exarch up, right, and I have Kiki as well. Uh, the thing is that I can leave it to where Kiki is untapped, and on their upkeep, especially if the Exarchs are capable of tapping for mana, assuming like for whatever reason on my turn I couldn't do it, whatever. Uh, I can just then go off from there on their turn by casting spells and going off, because the thing is I could just win with Valley Flood Caller, or in the case of the current list, I can just use breach lines, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, mill myself out, cast the Oracle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I don't have any more questions. I feel like we've covered everything and anything we could probably cover on the deck. If there's any other questions you have, Chase?
No, I've just been a big fan of the deck for a while now, and we've been trying to do this. Just life has gotten in the way pretty much every time, but it's fine. We got there.
Yeah, finally
If
got it done.
if there's any questions, feel free to comment on the video. I will have the deck list linked, and am I able to put the Discord up too, or do you want that
My
unless?
Discord?
Yeah,
Yeah, people can join my server both for Vilepod, which is capable of being reached in the what the hell is it called? The
primer.
primer of the deck, which I need to update because, as you have stated, life has been busy,
Yep.
and so I've not been able to diligently like go through it with a fine tooth comb. But if you're reading it, you're gonna essentially get all of the information I've said in this video, just with the hyperlinks of being able to see what the cards do and all of that, with the mana representative, what you need to pay for it. But you can also go to my profile on there and find my Discord server, which is where people are capable of asking me rules questions in real time, and I normally answer immediately. And then people are welcome to also add me, and you're more than welcome to put that in the description as well. And everyone and anyone is welcome to ask questions about the deck, or about like card selection and all of that. But
I
one card that I would love to put back in the deck is Surgical Extraction. Some people ask me, why the hell do you like that card so much? And I'm just like, well, if you take 3 seconds to read the second sentence and really digest it, you will understand.
Yeah,
All right, here we go, y'all. We're gonna read it
research.
together. Boom. Huh.
Read it. I can't find it.
Then that player
uh,
shuffles his or her library.
uh, no,
Target
the
card in the
second
graveyard.
sentence.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
So
There's
that's the first sentence. So it's black Phyrexian, so you can
yeah.
pay 2 life, so it's free, or a black if you can't pay for life for whatever reason, or if you're at 2 life, big whoop. Uh, but it's an instant speed, free interaction. So it's choose target card in a graveyard other than a basic land. That target condition is essentially null and will always be active, even on turn 0 most of the time, because the thing is, a lot of the times on your turn 0, the players before you are probably cracking a fetch or casting at least something, maybe even like cracking a Lotus Petal, you know? But the important part is that it says search their hand, library, and graveyard for any number of copies of that card and exile them. So you're not required to exile the card if you don't want to. Unlike Extirpate forces you to exile the one that you target in the graveyard, and then anywhere else you're not forced to. Uh, the problem, or the benefit of the card, is that instant speed for free. You get to look at their hand. It's not revealed. You just get to look at it. All right. So you get that free information, hidden information that is, on maybe the turn before you go off to see whether or not they have the interaction that you think that they have to interact with you. And you didn't spend any mana to do that. You just paid 2 life to know what they have, so that maybe you can tiptoe around their interaction. Because if they don't counter the spell, then you know exactly what it is that they have. And like that could change your game plan on trying to win on your turn and winning on someone else's turn and allowing them to utilize their interaction and politic and maybe even coerce them through your beautiful words of telling them to use the interaction that you know that they have to stop the thing because you may or may not have any and bluff them, you know. Uh, but like you get to see that hidden information, right? The other thing is you get to look through their deck, right? So you get to see what they are running and how their list is different, especially if it's a deck that you've not come across, right? And you're unsure of what win lines they're utilizing. Uh, the other thing is it makes them shuffle their library afterwards. So if someone top deck tutors, right, or
Oh.
spins the top and activates the top, you can stop them from doing that. So there have been multiple times where I have not only exiled their tutor, right, but I have looked at what they top deck tutored as well as looking in their hand to know like what their game plan was and deduce all of that from the deductive reasoning skills and knowledge of what their deck does, as well as looking at the literal list that they're utilizing to be able to thwart their plans and have that on the back burner, just like stewing and reducing into a perfect sauce to, you know, put on top of the cake of trying to win. And so the thing is that you exile the tutor, you see what they got, make them shuffle. All right, cool. Or, you know, what is one of the best win conditions that people utilize in CEDH? Underworld breach loops. There is a pivotal interaction point where they are the most defenseless. It is when they are hellbent. They have no cards in hand because they activated LED.
Yeah.
When they go to cast Brain Freeze, Storm Trigger on the stack, let it resolve. They're going to target themselves. Cool. In response, surgical extraction. I'm going to get rid of your LED. Hopefully you milled over Lotus Petal so that you can potentially still win, but it's going to be a lot harder for you because now you got to exile 9 fucking cards instead of 6 to do your loop.
Yeah.
And hopefully you weren't at the beginning because you're fucked.
Yeah.
Right? Or if
Wow.
someone tries to reanimate a creature or, you know, use Savine's Reclamation, you're just like, no, exile it.
Damn.
I I got it in Kark Timna. It's free. It gets doubled by Kark, and it hoses people. So I'm here for it. That card's good.
I have been very high on the card since New Phyrexia got printed.
I can see why it gives you all
You know,
that free
because
Damn.
information.
Yeah.
because you know I've been playing CEDH since 2008 2009. And so New Phyrexia came out in the end of 2010, and then I believe the end of the actually no, I believe it was Mirrored and Besieged came out in the fall of 2010, right? And then it was the spring is when New Phyrexia came out, because then Innistrad was fall of 2011, I believe. I was in high school at the time. That was a long time ago. Uh, so, but yeah, that's back when cards were super cheap and we proxied what we couldn't find, even though a Mox Diamond was $35 back then.
Wow. Well,
That's
Yeah,
yeah. This deck is some fucking spice. I love it. That's awesome,
I
man.
I don't have any more questions.
Yeah. I'm good as well. I'm questioned out.
It's been good having you on, and we got to do this again
Yeah.
sometime. Let
absolutely. We got to get some gameplays and I will say from the Avatar set,
yeah.
a card that I am very heavily considering is something that a lot of people are on the fence about is the Redirect Lightning. I
Oh,
think that card is fucking great.
I think that card
Yeah.
is fucking awesome. I'm gotta take it out because I've been testing it in Kefka, or maybe I did take it out for the Hoarding Broodlord line. But yeah, the card is absolutely gas. Absolutely gas. It's like not quite a mind break trap or a deflecting swat, but it's like, it still can kind of save some shit. So I don't know. I like it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
test it in Ral.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though I'm
Alright.
on Ogre. But yeah,
Well,
thanks for coming on, and I hope
yeah.
to do this again soon sometime.
Yep. Have a great one, guys.
You as
See
well.
you on
Thank
the
you,
next
buddy.
Everybody.
video.
Thank you, sir.